And a judge sides with Judicial Watch in its ongoing effort to obtain Hillary Clinton's missing emails. A court said Thursday Judicial Watch may continue its process of discovery, including in-person depositions of key State Department officials. The judge, however, did put a delay on those depositions. Nevertheless, Judicial Watch's Chris Farrell sees this as a very positive sign and an important victory in the case. One America's John Hines caught up with Farrell and as well as the senior attorney in the case following that ruling.
I'm here with Ramona Kotka, a senior attorney with Judicial Watch, and then Chris Farrell, who is the director of investigations. And Mr. Farrell, perhaps you could tell us what just happened. It seems like Judicial Watch just scored a major victory here in the U.S. District Court.
We're very encouraged by Judge Royce Lambert's ruling, which grants us additional discovery in this Hillary Clinton email case. And it really moves the ball forward for us uncovering the facts, the truth, what really happened, so that the American public has some confidence in both the State Department and the Justice Department with respect to how they handle Freedom of Information Act requests and really getting to the truth behind Mrs. Clinton's outlaw server, the information she sent across it, how that was handled. These are the facts that Ramona and our legal team have been digging up for us, and it was all predicated really on something that was an investigative inquiry or our effort 5 years ago, and we're only now digging out the facts.
So, Ms. Kotka, it sounds like Judicial Watch got just about everything they were asking for. What did the judge say?
Yeah, so, I mean, the judge basically said the case comes down to finding was there egregious misconduct by the State Department, and we received permission to move forward with depositions of current State Department officials as well as former officials who were in charge of processing and discussing the policies and procedures with Secretary Clinton's staff. Also the Department of State as well as the Department of Justice attorney with respect to when they knew about Secretary Clinton's emails in 2014. So that is a very big victory for Judicial Watch. We did also request the depositions of Secretary Clinton and Cheryl Mills. The judge did provide 30 days to give their attorneys an opportunity to respond to our request, and then we'll have 10 days after that to file any replies. So that is still pending, but otherwise the judge pretty much gave us what we asked for.
Mr. Farrell, could you put a little context on that last piece with the part about Mrs. Clinton? It seems like it was an affirmative response from the judge. Can you talk about that?
My interpretation of what the judge said is that he was inclined to grant us discovery, to take the deposition of Mrs. Clinton and Mrs. Mills, but the judge exercised some discretion and prudence there and allowed the legal counsel of both Mrs. Clinton and Ms. Mills an opportunity, 30-day period, to file a brief with him as to why that should not be allowed or considered. There's again a period of 10 days after that where we get to provide our opinion, our legal basis for why that needs to be done. And so it wasn't an absolute yes and it wasn't an absolute no. It was more of a wait. And so we'll exercise that. We'll obviously follow the judge's instructions, and we're hopeful that we will have a ruling in our favor and that we'll finally get straight answers in an open dialogue back and forth with both Mrs. Clinton and Ms. Mills. And the only way to get the facts is to put people under oath and ask them direct questions and get frank live testimony. So that's kind of where this is heading.
And so it's I think it's nine people you want to depose under oath?
Yes, 9 people, 9 individuals, but that includes Secretary Clinton and Cheryl Mills.
And so the next step would be, the next point in court, I guess, is in December. Is that right?
Correct. That will be after we complete the discovery that the judge has granted today. So the next public step, but before that we'll be very busy doing all of the depositions that he just granted and all the discovery.
Well, Ramona Kotka, a senior attorney with Judicial Watch, and Chris Farrell, director of investigations, thank you for talking to One American News.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.